Hello, and welcome back to Life with Liz. I am Liz, whatever you want to call me, Elizabeth, whatever, as long as it's not mean. I don't care. Obviously, this is not the usual setup. This is more of a vulnerable chat that I wanted to do. I have Miss Lily here. Lily, look at. She's confused now. I am laying down and resting because, well, a couple reasons. I kind of overdid it yesterday, which is fine. Today, I am not overdoing it, and I am just going to relax. On Tuesday, I had an HSG. For those of you that don't know me and are just following my channel because somehow you found me, well, welcome. And not all my videos are like this, but this is something that I wanted to talk about because the HSG was something I was very nervous about. And when I went on to social media, there were a lot of positive videos, but at the very beginning, there were a lot of negative and scary videos about getting an HSG done. And every person's experience is different, obviously. But when getting the HSG, I didn't really want to hear about the negative experiences. And I hoped and prayed that I had a positive experience. And I did. Even though today I'm not feeling the greatest, I think it's really because I overdid it yesterday. Oh, disclaimer, this video talks about fertility, infertility, other things that might trigger you. It's a part of my journey and my husband's journey and I of trying to get pregnant. So if that's something that you're going through or is just hard today, I shouldn't say completely understand because everybody's journey is different, but I do understand a little bit of what you're going through, and so I'm letting you know this video is going to be talking about that. So if you're having a bad day or that's something that's triggering you, probably don't watch this video and save it for another time. Alright, so an HSG is a procedure that is done where to make sure that the fallopian tubes are open, because if they're blocked, then you're gonna have problems conceiving. I have PCOS, and one of my hormones is very, very high. It's not the testosterone hormone, it's AMH. I mean, again, I'm not a doctor, so if anything I say isn't correct, you feel free to correct me, and I'm not gonna mind. But the HSG is they take a speculum and open you up so that they can insert a catheter into your uterus. And once they insert it into your uterus, they will push dye through the catheter that will have enough pressure to fill your uterus and go through the little fallopian tubes. And they will be able to see if there's any blockages. It's kind of cool. I don't have pictures from my specific procedure, but I did get to see it on the x-ray. You also have, like, for me anyways, there was a big x-ray machine over me, and the doctor will come in, whether it's the doctor that's already doing it or a different doctor. That for me it was a different doctor. I'll walk through what happened. But a different doctor came in and looked at the pictures that were being taken from the x-ray and got to tell me and show me whether or not there were any blockages, and there were no blockages. If there were any, they must have been, like, they would have been small enough that the fluid just flushes them out, which is also a benefit to getting an HSG done. Yeah, so that is what an HSG is, essentially. I'm going to talk about my experience with it because I know a lot of people are scared, which I was, about the pain. I'm going to talk about, like, the after effects of it. As you can see, I'm kind of tired today, and resting. I don't necessarily feel horrible, but I just think I'll explain, but I think I overdid it yesterday, the day right after my HSG. So let me walk you through what that day looked like. First of all, it was nice to have my husband come with me. He wasn't able to be in the room with me, but he got to come with me, hold my stuff right outside of the room. So as soon as it's done, they let him in, and they showed him the pictures as well. And they were like, yay, she passed the test and everything looked good. So that was really, really sweet. And the doctor came right out and was like, she passed her test. And the nurse showed him pictures. They get you into a gown, and they have you do a pregnancy test beforehand. Like, they'll just have you take a urine sample, and then they'll just double check to make sure you're not pregnant, just because it can be harmful to like your newly conceived baby. If they were to do it, it could flush the egg into the fallopian tubes, or like anything that's developing. So they just do that as a precaution to make sure. The chance is very low, but you never know. You never know. And obviously mine turned out negative, which was fine because that's what we figured. It is done. Oh, by the way, the procedure is done 5 to 10 days after your first day of your cycle. So I had to call, like, I got this little card, and I had to call that number as soon as I started so that they could set me up. So that just gives them more of a chance to make sure that everything is clear of blood, or like you're not going into ovulation yet, so that everything is just easier to see on their end, so that there's no chance that the procedure doesn't show them what they need to show, and then you have to come in and you have to do it again, or you have to wait another month, which was I was kind of nervous about. I was like, I don't want to have to wait another month, let alone I don't have regular cycles, so I had to be put back on birth control, and the birth control just emotionally did not make me feel very great. To kind of put my hormones out of balance, so I'm very glad to just be off of that. So I went in, put me in a gown. You're on, like, this bed that is kind of comfy. I don't know. It's like a regular, I like how the nurse put it. It's like you're gonna go in for a pap smear from your gynecologist, pretty much. That is what it reminded me of. And I let my doctor know beforehand, like, hey, I do get very nervous at those appointments. I've cried before at those appointments. Thankfully, I mean, I've gotten a lot more used to it, and I've learned breathing exercises that definitely helped. So I just let her know beforehand, because just letting them know if you're nervous beforehand gets a load off your chest, and it also prepares them if they need to do things slower, or if you even need them to stop, which I was determined we're just gonna get this done. I don't care how much pain it ends up being, we're getting this done. I mean, unless there was something, like, actually, like, really bad happening, then I'd be like, okay, something's wrong, we need to stop. But we didn't need to stop, so that was good. So yeah, it's basically the same setup as, like, a pap smear in that sense. They had my legs up. I didn't have stirrups to put my legs on. It was like this comfy memory foam, like, triangle shaped thing that you put your bottom in, like, this little area, and then your legs up so that they can see things great, and you're all covered with your gown, so that's nice. And then the big machine thing, once well, that's once they got the catheter in, but they do the speculum, which opens you up enough, which for me, my experience, that's the worst part for me. Anyways, it was. I hate that part. I hate that part at my gynecology appointments. I hate it. It always is somewhat painful for me and very uncomfortable and just like almost cringy. So I just did a lot of breathing through that, and it was really nice because they were like, if you need me to stop, I'm like, nope, just go, just do it, just get it done. So it's kind of making jokes and just doing my breathing exercises, and the nurse was there, so she was able to, like, she was really nice. She let me hold her hand, which I know it sounds silly, but it's really not. Like, you're not being a child or you're not being dramatic. Like, it's not a fun experience. Whether you're in a lot of pain or not, you're scared, and having somebody else there as like emotional support is really important. So I'm really glad they have like an extra nurse there. At least for me, they did have an extra nurse that I was able to just hold her hand and then also just kind of joke with, because I'm pretty sure she's either knows what I'm going through. Like, obviously they've done this procedure probably like 20,000 times, but they've had all sorts of people. So nothing you do or say can be embarrassing or stupid or anything. Like, don't put yourself down during these procedures. I used to think I was a wimp. That's not the case. Nobody likes these procedures being done. Nobody likes going to this. Like, even the doctors themselves, when they've had to go through stuff like this, they don't like doing it. Like, it's scary for everybody. So don't put yourself down. That's the biggest thing. Like, don't put yourself down if you are in pain. Tell your doctor. Like, I can't stress enough, just communicate with your doctor. Because that made it a whole lot less scary for me, just knowing that she knew where I was coming from and that we could keep that line open. And again, I had the nurse with me, so that was really nice, and I joked through it. But once the catheter is in, then they can take the speculum thing out, which was like a lot better. So then I didn't even know that the catheter was in there. I was like, oh, are we done? And she's like, no, I haven't even pushed the dye in yet, which you do feel cramping when they first put the catheter into your uterus, because I mean, something's going into your uterus. So it was painful. I have somewhat of a high pain tolerance, I think, even though I can still act like a wimp when I feel like it, I guess. But when I'm with strangers that I'm not comfortable with, I have a pretty high pain tolerance. But it's like menstrual cramping. So it kind of just makes you go, ooh, that it obviously is cramping. And then they went and they got the doctor before they put the dye in so that he could be watching the x-rays in real time. So then that's when they lowered the x-ray thing. So that's kind of like, for me, it was like almost above my face and my torso. So that was kind of distracting, which was sort of kind of nice. And then once the doctor's there and they're ready and to go, they let you know that you're going to definitely feel cramping. Also, I took ibuprofen beforehand. They definitely suggest that to help with the pain. They push the dye through, and then you really feel the cramping. Like, I felt it on left and right side, and it's just like, ooh. But, you know, it's what they have to do. It's still, for me, that part for me was not as bad as the speculum, because it's a pain that you feel every month from your menstrual cycle. So it's not new or scary. It's just the fact, like, hey, you know what to expect now. And they're good at telling you, like, hey, this is what we're doing next. This is what you're going to feel. So I think I wasn't as scared with that, because it was just normal. Like, I knew that if I felt pain, it'd be normal. Now, if it's unbearable pain, that means you might have a blockage, or I don't know what else. But I didn't have unbearable pain, but it was uncomfortable. To be honest, it was uncomfortable. But again, the nurse was there, and I just kept breathing and just taking deep breaths and being like, okay, cool. And they did have me lay on my side a little bit. I guess that was the most painful as far as the cramping, because the dye was just filled. So I was like, ugh. I told the nurse, I'm like, I'm probably making some really stupid, funny looking facial expressions. Cause again, I didn't cry, which I'm surprised I didn't, but I think I had so much adrenaline going through me. I was like, yeah, let's get this done. I'm just, oh yeah. That I was just like, ooh, ah, ooh, 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 you know, like that is uncomfy, but it's fun. But yeah, and then once that was done, she took the catheter out. They showed me the pictures. They said, you're all good, you're open, that's good to know, so we'll see you in a month for your regular fertility appointment. But at least we know that everything looks healthy and good. Like, I've gotten ultrasounds done, which is how I knew that I had PCOS, because they found a lot of follicles in my ovaries. But at least with this, they know that there's no blockages, so that we can go on to the next step. There's medications that can help, and other things that we could possibly do to help us get pregnant. In the meantime, I'm trying to work on my diet and exercise and things like that. But yeah, so then after that, she took the catheter out, which didn't hurt for me. There was, like, for the rest of the day, I had some cramping, and she did say because they had to turn things, like, in my uterus, not, like the tools that they use, that there would be some bleeding, so, like, a light period type bleeding, which I did have, and kind of still do, which I'm keeping an eye on, but I was doing a lot better yesterday, but then I, like, I went to work, and, I think I just overdid it. Because I work with kids with special needs, and I think I just had too much fun and overdid it. So, and then I came home later, and I tripped up our metal stairs and hurt my knee, which it's not broken, it's not sprained, it's fine, but I'm kind of sore today, and I think that just put my body back into, whoa, slow down, like, I'm glad you're all healthy and open, but you can't just, like, go into running a marathon, and yeah. So, I think that's where I just overdid it, but it's still just light bleeding right now, which, again, I will keep an eye on, because if you go into heavy bleeding, or, I don't know, I'm assuming if it lasts more than a couple of days, I will contact my doctor just to make sure that everything's normal. Again, just keep that communication with your doctor. If there's something that you're going through, or a pain that you're going through afterwards that it doesn't feel right, like, just ask them. They're going to be able to tell you if it's normal or not, or if it's something you should keep an eye on. And then they'll tell you when you need to come in, or when you're like, nope, that's okay, that's normal. And it'll give you just such a peace of mind, which I might even just message my doctor today just to give myself a peace of mind, even though I'm pretty sure everything's fine. But now I'm resting today because I have the day off. So I figured, you know what, I should just probably rest today with Lily. Right, Lily? But yeah, that was my experience. If I had to compare it to something, I'd compare it to getting a pap smear at the gynecologist, which for some people wasn't that bad at all, and for other people, it's the worst thing ever. So it's really different for each person, but it's not something you want to psych yourself out of, because it's really important to get, especially if you're in that fertility journey, because if you're going to go on medicine or do something like that, but you have blocked fallopian tubes, the medicine's not really going to do much good. So they want to make sure that everything is open and healthy before helping you on to the next step, so that you and your baby can be the healthiest that they can be. So yeah, I just wanted to come on here and touch base with that. I've thought about not posting because I wasn't feeling the greatest today, but I thought, you know what, why not? Because it is something I really wanted to talk about. Not all of my videos will be this serious, or it's not going to necessarily become a fertility journey YouTube vlogger, like a family vlogger. But it is something I enjoy talking about, and I do like making videos of things that I enjoy watching, and I know I've enjoyed watching other people's journeys to kind of give me hope and encouragement. So hopefully this will help you if you ever go through this or are going through this. Then again, just keep that communication line open with your doctor. And if you don't feel comfortable with the doctor that you have, I really suggest you get a different doctor. Like, please know that you have options. You don't need to be stuck with the same person that doesn't understand you and isn't supporting you in the ways that you need. I'm thankful to have a really good team on my side, and I'm excited for the next part of this journey, and I know that they're gonna do what they can to help. So yeah. As always, I love you guys. I'm praying for you. And Lily says that she loves you too. She's being a good therapy dog. And hopefully the next video that I make will be a little bit more fun and exciting. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but maybe we'll do a baking video or something for fall. Like some apple pie or something like that. Alright, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!